Oh, hello, you guys. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Today is Friday, August 27th, 2021. And today I want to kind of talk about, during this kind of midday impromptu show, I want to talk a little bit about calling a thing a thing. Sometimes that's something we struggle with. And I feel like we've got to be more permissive and more embracive of the things that don't necessarily align with our best outcomes or the things that we expect out of life. And by doing so, we can become more congruent with ourselves. So that's just kind of to give you an intro of what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to play a voicemail that was left for me by one of the viewers. And we're going to jump into this. It should be a fairly short midday show, but I want this to be your midday motivation on your Friday. So check out the intro where all my disclaimers and all that good stuff are. And be back just a moment. All right. So we are absolutely back and in action. Right. I want to say I do not own rights to the music that you may hear playing in the background, just in case you guys can hear kind of my Whitney playlist going or whatever today. Again, happy Friday. Hope that your midday is going well and everything that you guys had planned out in your initial parts of your morning. Hopefully that stuff is panning out for you now. Hopefully everything's going well your way. Um, there are a lot of things that are going on in the world, right? There are many things. We have the remnants of a war beginning again. We have what some would consider to be a war in urban cities that's been going on for ages now, for decades in the Black community. Um, And that's definitely something that increases the amount of stress, especially in moments like this, where we have so many opportunities to grow out of those negative cycles of behavior and grow into spaces of congruence or spaces of productivity to increase our status socioeconomically. Um, as brown people, people who identify with melanated communities in America, and try to bridge the gap of injustices and marginalization amongst ourselves and our counterparts, other people who are citizens as well in America. I think that we have to do our due diligence to call a thing a thing. So sometimes we have to find the courage within ourselves to say, hey, well, you know what, these are the things that we have to be accountable for. In recent conversations, we've been talking about the way that we relate to one another in relationships, or we relate to one another when it comes to the propensity to be in relationships, and the lack of investment in certain populations of the subculture of Black America being completely uninvested or divested from um, intimate partnership congruently in marriages. So I think that when we're having these conversations, sometimes it's difficult to sit with truths that come from the other side of the table, and people, as people are observing their perceptions, are important, even if they don't align with what our truths are in the immediate space. But it doesn't mean their truth has to overtake ours or overshadow ours. We can be people who allow the truths of another person, as they're observing us from the outside looking in. We can allow their truths to be a proponent for our growth, maturation, and stability, as we are identifying things on a day-to-day basis that we need improvement on. And so I wanted to play this voicemail that was left by this caller for you guys, and I'm going to give him a call back as he requested, because I do feel like we do need to be having the difficult conversations, and we do need to be exploring what some people see as problematic in our society, even if we haven't identified those same things, so that we can see whether or not we're looking at the same population of people within our subculture, right? So I want you guys to tell me what you guys think about his thoughts and his reflections that he left in this message for me. Also, if you agree, like, and if you feel like there are other things, or you feel like he's made some points that you can expand upon, I'd really love to hear what you have to say. All right, so take a listen.
Girl, this black girl, um, she really don't know what's going on. She didn't understand the question you asked her. And I see a lot of stuff out there going on. I'm a truck driver too, so I'm the one. I'm Lorenzo, watching the one that been. I guess you see me with the shades on, with the hat on, looking all cool. But my thing is, black folks got to get they stuff together. I mean, really get it together, because there's no fathers in the home. For one, women have to stop talking so much further as disrespecting the black man. They would say the black man disrespecting them, but that's not true. We do, if a real man, see, their problem is they mess with them jail dudes. And them jail dudes don't have nothing to offer them. They become drug dealers or ex-drug dealers or whatever you want to call these guys. And they messing it up for the good people like me that's trying to do something and build. So the answer to your question is the drug dealers. The drug dealers, the drug dealers, the video guys, not the video guys, the drug dealers, and I don't really want to say it, but the call girls and the gay stuff, all that's in the mix of the black culture now. That's what's messing the black culture up. And people are not being raised right. There's a woman raising everybody. How much more you think a woman can do this, without the man? So I don't want to be on here talking too much. I'd rather talk to you personally. You have my number. Give me a call. Bye-bye. Stay sweet, pretty. Bye.
Okay, so what did you guys think about what he had to say? And I feel like he definitely has, he's made some very interesting points. There are some things that we can definitely say unobjectively that are different in today's society of people versus people that were coming up in society 20 years, 30 years ago. Okay. We can definitely say there are just there are huge differences in the way that parents parent. There are huge differences in the way that systems contribute to the process of parenting for parents. The one thing that stands out the most is that, in the 80s, we saw a phasal system of shifts because of the child abuse laws and the amount of helplessness that most parents felt like they had in the Black and brown community when it came to options for effectively discipline and reshaping behaviors of their children. I think that for so long our culture had been conditioned to believe that physical discipline was the best form of punishment, and that this was acceptable regardless of where the emotions of the parent were. The thing is, parents were more offended when government decided to make these child abuse laws, and children felt more empowered over parents as a result of that, right? And some of these children started to use the system or the misconceptions of the system as a means to kind of reposition themselves as the power constructs over the parents or whatever. So many parents felt helpless, and I don't think that the laws are the issue. I think oftentimes it's the misinterpretation of said laws. I think that people need to understand that you still are responsible for parenting. Parenting can look a lot of different ways. Discipline can look a lot of different ways, but you are definitely responsible for the overarching responsibility of cultivating, molding, shaping that person that you are responsible for because they're your child, right? So, I think that there are some points that he made that were definitely valid. And as you guys go into your weekend, I would like for you to weigh in on your feelings and reflections and thoughts or whatever about what he had to say as far as like the things that are in society that have been normalized within our subculture that he feels are causing some level of disconnect. He mentioned homosexuality being a point of contention. He also mentioned the fact that parents aren't parenting anymore as a point of contention. And he mentioned that the abundance of street life principles being normalized as a point of contention, be it call girls, streetwalkers, prostitutes, whatever you want to call them, pay to play girls, the idealism around sexual liberation, basically, if you will, that being a problem, and the influx of drug dealers and substance use in our community. I think that all of these are definitely things that are very different than they were 30 years ago, very different than they were 40 years ago, right? However, I do feel like some of these things being normalized do not take away from parents doing a great job in cultivating, molding, and shaping the personality of their kids, and having that be something that keeps their children grounded as they're exposed gently or overarchingly to the society around them, the environment around them, right? So people and their personalities are shaped by a vast array of exposures. We can definitely say that. So family of origin is important, definitely media and environment, so social component, that's all important, educational plateau, work, all of these things are important to a person becoming whole, okay, in their process of becoming. But I feel like we've got to do a better job at creating viable solutions to the issue. I don't feel like a person's sexual preference is a huge issue in society. I think that the way society either criminalizes or normalizes and accepts and embraces individualism and differentiation, I think that has a lot to do with the way the personalities of these people who are identifying as gender nonconforming, non-binary, um, asexual, whatever they want to identify as when they find themselves being a part of the LGBTQIA plus community. I feel like if we are people who understand that those things are just parts of people in preference, but if we continue to um, condition morals and ethics in our children, compassion, empathy, right? If we continue to give position roles, gender roles, whatever have you, to our children in our, rearing of them, I think that we're still doing our due diligence. I really feel like that's the missing component. Okay. So let me know what you feel like is the issue. And also, hopefully, this ray of sunshine will brighten up your day. This smile will make you pave the way to greatness in your life today, as you get ready to start your weekend and start to come off of all of this work and all of this stress and all of the chaos that's currently going on in the world. Let me know what you guys are doing on a consistent basis to keep yourself balanced and calibrated and to make sure that you're protecting your peace. Okay. I always say, be wise, live free, be bold, and, unapologetically be you, right? In this bout for you to reach your capacity and your becoming. So hopefully you guys are well. And if you can't find a means or a way to be positive and to be a positive impact on other people, you don't go out there impeding on other people's positivity and their life choices. So that is all that I have. I hope that you guys have a great day and an amazing weekend. Later days. Bye.
Who alive can't put me in a box. I redefine any definition you got. I am the tiger, I'm making steps to the top. The flames, I whip it up, you just gotta hand me the rock. Take a seat, you cannot stand it. All I know, the flow harder than a Scotch bunny. Don't try studying me, you cannot manage. This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon. This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon.